Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back. Kellen here again with Droid Life, and I've got a new phone in front of me today. I know we just came off the Pixel 6a, and now we've got something new from OnePlus. I'm assuming you knew that from the red box. So OnePlus 10T, the follow-up to the OnePlus 10 Pro, and there's some differences. There's some stuff to talk about coming to the US. And anyway, let's dive in. This is an unboxing and first look at the OnePlus 10T. All right, so the OnePlus 10T, again, headed to the US, fully spec'd out versions as far as I understand. I believe this is the super fully spec'd out version, which we'll get into in a second. But again, 10T, follow up to the 10 Pro. And the positioning of this phone, it might be slightly different, and we'll show you what we mean there in a second. But this is a review unit the OnePlus sent over, as well as some cases. We'll try those on. But anyway, let's cut into the box. Oh, tour of the box. 10T. The red from OnePlus 10T 5G there. Not much else on the box, actually. Obviously runs Android. So let's cut this open and see what we've got. Shimmy there, more red. So now we've got red insert as well. Let's actually look, because it feels like they're, it's totally ripped that. Feels like there might. Oh, I was supposed to pull on that, not full. Jeez Louise. All right. Actually, no case. I thought maybe a case, but looks like this is your SIM, or I'm sorry, your phone setup sort of transfer tool. This is a USB A to C. So if you have like an old cable, you plug it in. That's what this thing is for. And then we have guides, and we usually don't look at those, but they did include a couple of stickers, both a black and a red one. Anyways, thought there might be a case in there. There is not. Here is the phone. Let's see what we got. Is it black or green? I'm gonna go with that is the black model. Set that down for a second. So in the box, how do you get under there? Oh, there's a pull tab. I think that's a pull tab. Okay, so under here, look at this charging brick. So while everyone else is pulling the chargers out of their boxes, OnePlus is including one, and I believe this is a 160 watt charger. It will do 125 watt charging here in the US. Again, 160 watt charger, which is absurd, and it'll do 125 watts of fast charging in the US. So that's one of the big selling points here. Remember with the OnePlus 10 Pro, they kind of dropped the spec in the US. I think it was down to 80 watts or something like that, and it was capable of maybe 125, something like that. Anyways, we're doing 125. This is a little brick, that's for sure. And then this is, I'm gonna guess, just the classic USB-C to USB-C OnePlus cable with the red. Certainly is, but whew, that's a big charger we'll have fun with. So anyways, let me clear this out. Let's get into that phone. And mess cleaned up. Let's this is just kind of a weird little paper, not that sort of classic plastic thing. Let's take this sticker off, because it is ooh, the black. Okay. All right, so ooh, you can probably see the texture there. We got a lot of texture going on. Familiar design, obviously, sort of like the 10 Pro. It does include a screen protector, which I will probably take off, but I know you guys get angry at that, so I won't do it on camera. Okay, so this is the OnePlus 10T. Certainly familiar, because I did use the 10 Pro for quite some time. In fact, really liked that phone a lot. Anyway, so let's talk about the story here. So OnePlus 10T, at the time of this recording, I do not have pricing or availability. So I will put that like right here. This is how much it costs and when it's coming. Boom. Okay, so not knowing that, let's just talk generally speaking about what this phone is. So OnePlus 10T has a Snapdragon 8 Plus Gen 1, so it's got an upgrade there. We've got the newest Qualcomm processor with 30% boost in efficiency, they say. So different chip maker. I mean, it's Qualcomm, but like the behind the scenes tech, newer, different switch up there, chip maker. That will make sense to chip nerds. Anyway, so we're expecting better things from the 8 Plus Gen 1 than the regular Gen 1, if that makes sense. Anyway, so this phone comes with two configurations, one with 128 gig storage and 8 gig RAM, or 256 gig storage and 16 gig RAM. I believe I have, for testing purposes, the 16 gig, 256 gig model, which is just absurd. So with all of that RAM and obviously that fast storage, you're probably guessing that this might be sort of a gaming focused phone. And that's sort of the vibe I'm getting here. And some of the marketing materials I've seen, we're really looking at, like it has a 3D cooling system with 3D graphite that has a 50% improved heat dissipation over regular graphite, things like that. There's like a heat chamber and all of this stuff to make it so for long gaming sessions. And then obviously all of that RAM. So that's sort of the vibe I'm getting, is that this might be sort of a gaming focused phone and might not have a massive price tag. At least I'm hoping. Again, you'll know because that's how much it costs. Oxygen OS 12.1 on here, which is new. It will run Oxygen OS 13, and at the time you're watching this, we probably have a write-up also on Oxygen OS 13, which will be coming soon once Google officially releases Android 13 and all of that. So anyway, we talked about the crazy fast charging that you get from this. So again, 125 watt charging. That's an upgrade over the 10 Pro, and you get this ginormous charger in the box. This thing seriously weighs just an absurd amount. See, it's 100. There you go. I should have showed you that earlier. 160 watt Super VOOC charging. Just wild stuff. 1 to 100% in 20 minutes is the claim there. 4,800 milliamp hour battery with around 26 hours of use. Hopefully we can, stretch that some. The design of this will look familiar. And so let me just grab here. So here is the 10 Pro that I was testing. So similar styling. You see like instead of the flat edge around the camera housing, they've done this sort of curved edge. Now, if you've seen any of the Oppo phones, and again, Oppo owns OnePlus, this is an Oppo thing where they kind of do this curve up around their big camera housings. So that looks familiar to me. I have an Oppo phone. It's not handy, but if you look at any picture of an Oppo Find X5 Pro, you'll see it has this sort of like curve up. So different styling there. But overall, they're about the same shape and all of that. Okay. One big difference, if we take a tour of this outside, we have a power button here. Okay. Metal frame all the way around. The camera housing doesn't blend into the frame like we think Google's going to do with theirs, or like Samsung done. There's still like a line here. These are separate pieces. But anyway, so metal frame all the way around. If we come over here, volume rocker, what you'll notice is there's no alert slider. And apparently there's no alert slider, which was a famous OnePlus thing that we've used on numerous phones. And we'll bring this back over. So if we look at this right side on the 10 Pro, power button, and here's that alert slider that slides up and down to mute and put it in vibrate or silent sound on, whatever, gone here. So apparently they're doing that because they needed to make room for additional components like that crazy super fast charging and some other stuff. Either way, sad to see. That's a switch that we've had on OnePlus phones for, I think from the beginning, and we like it. So sad to see that go. This is Moonstone Black. This is called. It's supposed to have the texture of basalt, and it looks kind of like that. It doesn't look super premium in person. I know on camera we're kind of getting some cool colors and some shifting and stuff like that. The texture feels sort of slippery, not sticky, not sandstone like. I don't know. I'll have to have some more thoughts on that. There's also a jade green version, which is, I believe, a little bit lighter even than this green. So anyway, so those are the colors we've got going. What else? Well, if we power this on, we'll show you what the display looks like lit up. Okay, felt a little vibrate there. Haptics, obviously. So the display is a 6.7-inch Full HD AMOLED display, 120 hertz refresh rate, Gorilla Glass 5 on top. So, pretty premium display. There's not Quad HD. I still am one of those people who doesn't know if we really need Quad HD displays, but Full HD AMOLED, 120 hertz, and there you can see, what it looks like. Center hole punch camera up top there. Speaking of cameras, let's talk about those. So that's a 16 megapixel selfie camera, but on the back is where you have the cameras that matter. And this is where things get a little weird. So the main sensor is a Sony IMX766. That is the same camera in the Nothing phone, which is, kind of on a budget level phone. And then the OnePlus Nord 2, which is also obviously a budget phone. I believe it's a 50 megapixel camera. So that's just kind of a budget camera. And then we have an 8 megapixel ultra wide, which again, budget. And then a third is the 2 megapixel macro. And then obviously this is your big flash ring up here. So the camera system, I wouldn't necessarily call fitting of this sort of, oh, this is the 10T. It's not a 10T Pro. Maybe we're getting a little cut there. So camera should be okay. I'm not expecting anything massive or major out of it. You also notice no Hasselblad branding anywhere. So right here you have Hasselblad branding on this sort of corner. None here. So this is not a Hasselblad branded phone. That means we shouldn't have the Hasselblad app either once we boot in. So again, maybe a cut. Weird. Anyway, in-display fingerprint reader, stereo speakers, Bluetooth 5.3. The spec sheet I have says this is USB 2.0, not USB 3.1. So step back there. Again, I don't really know. There's your SIM tray, by the way, down there. So an interesting phone. It has, we were changing features. We've cut some stuff from the 10 Pro. And again, that price that I keep putting up on the screen might be the reason why we're seeing this. So anyway, let me boot past some of this software and we'll at least look at the camera, some software. Skip past the setup and we'll look at software. All right, we've moved past setup. So here is, here's a look at the software. So swipe up there. I haven't set it up or anything. We just skipped everything. So no fingerprint reader. I haven't done that yet. I'm sure it's going to be better when whatever is on the Pixel 6. So let's see. If we swipe down, go in, you'll notice an about device. It says it's still running Android 12, which it should be. But again, it's supposed to be Oxygen OS 12.1. We should have Oxygen OS 13 soon once Android 13 arrives. And yeah, this is the 256 gig model with 16 gig RAM, which is pretty crazy. And there's the 8 Plus Gen 1 name up there, model number for those who care about OnePlus phone model numbers. If we fire up the camera, again, so a main 50 megapixel camera, it's probably fast. You'll notice though, if we go over here and go into Pro mode, it doesn't have that orange coloring, the Hasselblad coloring. It doesn't say Hasselblad anywhere. You still have a full Pro mode. It's just not Hasselblad branded anymore. So this phone does not have that. Maybe that's to keep the price down. I'm guessing that is actually to keep the price down. But yeah, this is, Oxygen OS. You guys have seen this, pretty familiar. I will say that everything looks buttery smooth at 120 hertz. I was testing the 6A before this, and that 60 hertz display was tough to handle. This thing looks pretty incredible. So at least the display does. So we will we'll test this. We'll dive in and see what we think. But it's the next OnePlus phone. Always fun. I will point out though that the display is basically flat. So 10 Pro has that definite curve to the side, and here it's pretty flat. So it's almost like this is the OnePlus 8. I'm sorry, the OnePlus 10, and this is like the OnePlus 10 Pro. Like, it just has like some things cut from it a little bit. Weird. All right, let's put some cases on. Let's at least put this one on. This one looks, sort of interesting. I actually use the pull tab this time. There we go. And try not to rip all of the packaging. All right, so here's a case, first party case. They always release several of these, and first party cases often fit the best. Am I supposed to take this thing out? This thing looks like I should take it out. Is this a sticker? What am I missing here? In, snap it in, and it has weird. I kind of wanted to see the back side of the phone. Anyway, if I'm supposed to take that out, I apologize, but it doesn't look that easy to come out. So anyway, nice fit, really strong texture on this guy with little nubs and things like that. I'm so confused. Okay, anyways, I don't know. I feel like I should be able to take that out, but I am not able to take that out. So whatever that is, never mind. So anyway, that's what the cases look like. That's what that one. This one looks like the classic sandstone. Yep, sandstone, which gives you that really cool texture from the OnePlus 1. Yeah, okay. We'll have more review all that stuff of the OnePlus 10T shortly. If you have comments, questions, please do let us know. Otherwise, we are Droid Life. Peace.